also need to search the kind of leaders we elect.
Absolutely. Let's talk about you for a minute. You're in Mokwa, where recent flash floods destroyed infrastructure. Tell us what you saw on the ground and how the flood affected critical rail assets.
Yeah, thank you very much. Let me first say that as an individual, as the managing director of Nigerian Railway Corporation, we commiserate with those who lost loved ones and those who are still missing. And we also pray God will grant those who are dead, who lost their lives, the Al-Jannah Fidaw in the season of Ramadan, of Eid al-Adha. What I saw was striking, and I was scared. I struggled to sleep that night because you have a whole town swept off. Then you still have people around the ground zero still believing that their loved one could be found dead or alive. And we must commend all the agencies that have been to that site. NEMA, Hydrological Agency, the Niger State government in particular, and the federal government for all the support that has been given. And also various civil society NGOs have also been there. The magnitude cannot be described except you are there. I saw a road culvert almost giving up, but we thank God it never caved in. That's the Mokwa road. I think it's the Mokwa Bida road also. It's the road that comes from Jeba that crosses Mokwa to this. And you also see farmland being washed away. You see over 500, 600 houses completely washed away. But what is certain, you now see the people, they remain resilient. They are ready to continue their life. And they are only open for support from every quarter, from government and other private agencies. That's what we need now.
All right, so let us begin with government's response. What immediate steps has the NRC taken in Mokwa? Are we repairing embankments? Are we upgrading drainage or securing foundations? Walk us through the details. Yeah.
Okay, prior to these incidents, a few days, in fact, we are still in touch with the governor and the government of Niger State to put that track to use for the people of Niger State, Kwara, and Kaduna State. And we were currently fixing the line from Lagos end. We experienced a washout, not this level, but somehow at Dagbulu in Oshogbo. That prevented us from getting the Sala train to Ilorin and Mokwa. Then while we are battling to resolve that, we saw this water and the rest. So what we are going to do, not what we are doing now, what we are going to do, because we have to allow the humanitarian aspect to settle down before doing anything, is to get that washout back. This is not the first time we are seeing a washout that created the hanging bridge. We saw one in before 2019. There was also one 2017, close the same Niger State at Tatabu, where we also have hanging thing. These are as a result of human activities, climate change, and urban development. And it only tells us that in engineering, we need to design resilient kind of infrastructure. And what we are going to do is we're waiting to meet with all other agencies of government as soon as the humanitarian aspect is curtailed. We will meet, possibly coordinated by you recall that the vice president was there representing the president. So you also have the state governor who has also visited. A meeting will be called up hopefully very soon or within this week, within the coming week, and we will all sit down and do intergovernment and interministerial, interagency approach to the issue to bring up a resilient solution to this. And also in other areas, it teaches us how not to do things or how to do it better.
I like that you're talking about resilient structures. Climate extremes are increasing, Mr. Kwefa. What's the corporation's blueprint in adapting its engineering standards or route planning to this new reality?
You see, when natural disaster occur, engineering systems and technology will also be renewed to adapt. You cannot predict the next kind of crisis. You can only do what you can do. We have learned lessons with washouts, and this one is the biggest of the one we have learned in recent time. And we definitely, our engineers are meeting, and they will also meet with people in the hydrological agencies. They're meeting with state government. They're meeting with all other critical stakeholders, and we have also always come out better after every such disaster. The one in Tatabo, like I said, within 4 weeks, 6 weeks, they returned the bridge. I mean, they returned the structure, and they put a temporary bridge, created adequate water flow points, and the thing was resolved. So I don't think this should be anything different. However, because of the magnitude, nature, and the fact that you have human casualty in this regard, we have to make sure that we manage this situation with all the compassion it deserves. And I am well confident that with the president personally addressing this issue, with the vice president being on side, and with what I know of the Niger State government, I have no doubt that this is going to receive the best of attention. And going forward, we will be more conscious of building structures that, regardless of what happened, at least we can be 95% confidence limit sure that they will be resilient. This thing had not happened in the last 20, 15 years. We were told they've been living this in this area. So wherever the water comes from is just part of what the new world order is going through under this climate change and human activity.
Nigerians are hoping that beyond recovering from this disaster, that the future holds something really bigger, that our rails will be reliable, resilient, and will also, like you said, build resilient pillars for Nigeria's infrastructure. But security is still top of mind, especially with past attacks on lines. Are there new protocols or technology you're implementing to ensure passenger safety in this regard?
Yeah, what we're experiencing more now is a vandalism, human vandalism, and intentional criminal vandalism. We saw a site close to about entry Mokwa where people are doing mining, and they mine right under they are now getting close to the track, and that will affect the integrity. We also have people stealing cables, signal cables, for whatever value it has. You've seen a situation where a whole bridge that was not used was completely cutted away. So our own approach, we will put all those resources, all these assets, we are going to put them to use, such that continual use will deter vandalism. Also, we call on the security agents, especially the Nigerian police and the civil defense corps, to continue to do more. And we plead with the courts, when these criminals and vandals or whoever they are and their cohorts are apprehended, the justice system should help us. A situation where you find them 50,000 naira or 100,000 naira for somebody who is damaging an asset that could cost life. These are not, they turn all our rail tracks to scraps. They call it scraps. They are not scraps, they are national assets. And for the least asking that it should be sold to them, we need to be cautious. These are not scraps, these are national assets that Nigerians are pulling from where they are. Some few Nigerians are pulling from where they are and turning them to something for themselves. So we continue to plead, but as an organization, we will now come out, meet with the security agencies while we keep thanking them for. There has been a lot of recovery by the police and the civil defense and also the military. And we also want to thank community along our tracks to keep supporting. What I saw in Mokwa was interesting. All the tracks are intact. No single boat was missing. But when you go to some other localities where they are even enjoying the train, they are stealing the boats. In Delta State, is a different story entirely. On a daily basis, people go on the track to steal clips. The same thing in Lagos, people breaking bricks to steal irons. Then you now go to the north-central Nigeria, people removing tracks completely in broad daylight.
I understand for no reason. I understand your advocacy for stricter punitive measures, but some have also said that there is need for us to be proactive. Do we understand what is fueling all of this vandalism? Is it a bigger economic issue that government has to look into? Are there bigger spectrums to consider in this regard?
Okay, let me say it's easy to say it's because of poverty, but that is not. Because even in the urban South Africa, they are selling cables, they're selling signals. Even in Italy, in Spain, it happens in many countries. In our own case, the main issue is the fact that for some time, I don't want to say for too long, for some time, the rail tracks, were not put to use. And people have a feeling that train will no longer come. Then when we started the modernization program, there was also the impression that we are going to standard gauge and we are going to abandon the narrow gauges. So people felt nothing will happen. Then came the COVID period. The major attack came during the COVID period where there was no body monitoring, nothing happened in the mobility sector. The trains were down, security was left to the locals, and people started taking that. But more importantly, I believe, is because we have not put the tracks to use. So that is our own first line of defense.
All right.
We are fixing them. We are going to fix all the track. We'll put them to use. And when they serve the people will appreciate it more and they will protect it.
Mr. Kwefa, we have to go now, but if you were speaking directly to President Tinubu tonight, what one urgent ask would you make to better safeguard rail infrastructure and climate-proof our system?
I would first say to thank the President for all that he has done for Nigeria, taking bold and audacious decision to renew the hope of Nigerians. In the area of climate change, resilience, I would say, Mr. President, continue to pursue the Vision 2060 position of Nigeria on the climate change and get the ecological fund agencies to work to make sure that all areas where we could be exposed or vulnerable are protected and taken care of. Don't get distracted. Remain focused on the reforms to make sure that the bigger Nigerians, most Nigerians get the benefit of it. Conclusively, I want to say, Mr. President, you're doing good.
Kayode Kwefa is MD, Nigeria Railway Corporation. It was former Commissioner for Transport here in Lagos. Thank you so much for talking to us on Beyond the Headlines.
Thank you very much.
And thank you too for watching. Remember, you can watch it again at midnight and at 6 a.m. tomorrow. What a week it's been. See you again next week. I am Nifemi Oguntoye.